Waste to Water Sports, ahoy! Sorry for the delayed start, but we're ready to get underway here now. Queensland Reds versus Moana Pasifika is underway, off and running. The second of a doubleheader here tonight, and it does indeed look like a wet game. DJ Shack and a very quiet turnout as well, probably put off by the rain. Pasifika have it inside the 22. Fired back for the clearing kick. Not a lot of distance on it, just outside the 22. And the Reds will have an attacking line-out to start. Asiata is on target. The Reds set up the rolling maul. And we're still... I'm just going to turn the camera off for a second. As the Reds set up the ruck here inside the 22. On the attack nice and early here in this first half. It'll be a dream start for them. Staying on the short side. Tate McDermott with slow ball. Penalty advantage, though, to the Reds. And we come back for that penalty. Well, do they put it into the corner? It seems to be the way that the teams play in 2025. It's a give 3 points right out in front. I would take it. They are putting it into the corner, the Reds. Tom Liner finding his touch. The Reds staying on the attack. I am old school. I'm an advocate for taking the points. You take the points when they're on offer. Always. Certainly the way to go in 2025, it seems, though. Put it into the corner, no matter what the scenario. Asiata finds his mark again. The rolling maul is set. The Reds rumble it on. McDermott goes on a little scamper from scrum half. Almost gets to the line. Tate McDermott, well, I laughed at the prospect of him anytime try scorer. And the Reds have dived over. The pick and go is the option. And the try is scored by Seru Uru. Damn it, just one number away from Fraser McWright. Fraser McWright was my go-to in the forwards for try scorer tonight. Well, the Reds are on the board early. This could be another shellacking here. We just saw the Chiefs put the Crusaders to the sword. And a great start here for the home side, the Queensland Reds. Conversion attempt from out wide. It's on target. It's over. And it's 7 points to 0. Well, you couldn't ask for a better start. Moana Pasifika get us back underway. The Reds spill the ball forward. Here's a chance to hit straight back. Slade in midfield, 15 out from the line. Here they come. A chance to hit straight back. And I dare say they'll want to take it with open arms. Inside the 22. Where is Ardie Savea? I've got him anytime try scorer. Down the short side they go. A little kick in behind the line. Well, the winger wasn't expecting it. Alamalo, he was not expecting that kick through. And over the dead ball line it goes. All right. I know that this is very early in the broadcast, but quick break. I'll be right back. Gotta see. Dog's barking at. Yes, sorry about that. Whenever my dog is just at the door, relentlessly barking, I feel like I probably should go check and see what the fuss is all about. Pacifica inside the 22. 5.5 gone. A great start for the Reds, but they're in danger here of leaking that straight back. Sanorivi. Queensland Reds in over the top of the ball, and it's stolen away. Fraser McWright and McDermott now frees it up for Liner to fire it across. And the clearing kick up over halfway or just short. But great turnover there for the Reds. Zombies at the door. No, I don't think so. It was too quiet. Was a little too quiet. Zombies, they make noise, don't they? It's just the constant murmuring. Pacifica back on the attack. 40 out in midfield. Quick ruck ball. Attacking that far edge. Slade back in field. The Reds over the top of it again. Fraser McWright. Back-to-back turnovers there by Big Fraser. Holding on there, Pacifica penalty for the Reds. Matty Colkin, you've got a Cocker Spaniel. Very nice. What's its name? He or she? As the Reds only just fine touch. Pushing that to the very brink. Goldie girl. Very nice. Hey! I've just realised that my scoreboard hasn't updated for the colours. That is not the colours of the Reds and the Moana Pasifika. Right, let me fix that. Asiata now straight up the middle. Dummies goes on his own. Asiata now pops the pass up for Daugunu. And the first tick off our multi as the Reds score their second try. Asiata with the break, had the support. And once again, back-to-back games, we've got the first tick off our multi nice and early. Of course, it all amounted to naught in the last game, didn't it? It all amounted to absolutely nothing. Liner with the conversion attempt right down the middle again. Oh, he's on target. 14 points to 0, the Reds lead. And a tick off our multi. Daugunu. Matty Colkin's having a break from Tuesday until March the 7th. Moana Pasifika get us back underway. Taken by the Reds. Right. This hasn't logged in yet. Clearing kick up towards halfway. And Havili has it for the Pacifica. Just inside Reds territory, breaking away from scrum half. For the Reds defence holding firm at the moment, James Lay with the dummy. And the Reds in over the top of this again, looking to force the turnover. Savea. Well, where's he been at ruck time? Ardie Savea, all those turnover penalties. And that's popped forward. Queensland will have the line-out throw. Always good when we get a nice early kick off the multi. Whoops. That's not the right place. That's not the right place. That's the right place. Reds go to the middle of the line out. And back to, was that Tate McDermott clearing straight up the middle of the field? And Moana Pasifika return. McDermott's under it. The timing was perfect by Havili. Puts a big hit on. But the Reds do well to hold on. Managing to keep hold of the ball there. And McDermott with the box kick clearance up over halfway. Alamalo back infield, the kick. McDermott's under it, beats one, beats the second. McDermott pops the pass off into space. Goes McWright. He's got support inside. They've got numbers to burn here, the Reds. It's 3-on-1. A draw and pass back infield to Tim Ryan. And they're in again, the Reds, as the rain belts down. The Queensland Reds are putting on a show. 3 tries already inside the opening 12 minutes. Oh, it's going to be a long old day for the, or long old night, rather, for the Pacifica. Fraser McWright down in back play. That's not good for my multi. Tate McDermott with some fancy footwork. McWright might have copped an elbow to the face here. We'll need to have a look. Unintentional. Absolutely unintentional. But the Reds, 19 points to nil. The kick to come. What a performance this has been so far. Early days. And from right in front, the conversion successful. And you don't want to count anybody out, but I mean, they might have gone a long way to winning this game already, the Reds. 13 minutes in, they lead 21-0. Pacifica with the restart. Reds have it just outside the 22. Driving in, aggressive counter ruck. And that forces a loose ball out the back, but the Reds still have it. Fraser McWright. McDermott now onto Asiata. And carried back in for the clearing kick for Liner up over halfway. Taken on the full at the back by Havili. Runs it back to halfway, puts the kick up. Chasing through, but it's going to be caught and marked inside the 22. Tom Liner doing well there. 21-0 it is. Geez, why is none of my stuff updating? It's been a rough start to this stream. And Liner now clears up towards halfway. And the Queensland Reds in full control of this one. Moana Pasifika with the ball from the line out. The rolling maul is set. Just inside Reds territory. Now it goes to ground. They can clear. Through the hands. And a short pass to Alamalo. Plants it back, but through and spoiling his fluke. Up and they go again, the Pacifica. Might have been a cheeky little knock on there. But it's play on, says the referee. Moana Pasifika still in possession. Down the short side they attack. Havili fires it across there to Garden Bishop. Puts the little goose step on, but goes to ground. About 25 out here. Dan Jam says, not seen Moana play before, but have to say the best thing about them is the loosehead's moustache. But you don't get points for that, no. Cut out pass, and out wide is Balagi. And back in field, Pacifica, 7 phases. Putting it through the hands. Slade held up in midfield. But they're inside the 22. Lalamilo. As the Reds look to hold the ball up, but they get to ground. Slade again. Nine phases now. Pacifica the pick and go from Taloa. Left-hand edge they play. UFC, yep, 21-0 after 13 minutes. Penalty advantage now. That's not the try scorers, New Zealand sports fans. That's my same game multi. $15 phases here for Pacifica. Playing under penalty advantage. 7 out right in front of the post. And now the little dinking over the top, but the Reds read it well. Taken on the full inside their own goal line. And we come back for the penalty. 21-0 down. It's beyond taking the 3. As much as I love taking my 3s. And they want that. They've had a choice of 2 penalties here. One in front of the post, one out near the sideline. They've gone for the one near the sideline. So the choice is obvious here. Put it into the corner. And they'll get a 5-meter line-out throw here. Moana Pasifika. Santa Rivi with a pressure throw. Matty Colkin says it's funny the last game had Aussie refs and this game has New Zealand refs. Well, Super Rugby was always, back in the day, pretty big on having neutral refs as the throw uncontested to the middle. Rolly Maul is set. Going backwards. The Reds defend well. And Moana Pasifika, they've lost ground there. The ball spills out the back of the ruck. The Reds are allowed to fly up as the ball was out. Pick and go. Gets Pacifica going forward again. Penalty advantage. The ball's ripped away illegally. Hands on the ground. And now the referee's going to have words. A warning. 3 quick successive penalties in the danger zone. Warning here for the Reds. The real thing. Ahoy. Oh. Australia's Champions Trophy game tomorrow. I've got a little bit of a dilemma. The real thing. Because there's more Super Rugby tomorrow. And there's also Six Nations. The Six Nations returns. No matter what I do, there's going to be clashes. So I've got a little bit of a dilemma that I need to figure out. Dan Jam says, I don't get the Aussie fixation with playing club games in massive empty stadia. It just kills the atmosphere. I'll tell you what, Dan Jam, I used to go to all the Reds games when they played at Ballymore. A much smaller stadium. Well, it wasn't even, you wouldn't even really call it a stadium, I suppose. They used to play the games at Ballymore. You had the old hill. Yellow card here. Queensland Reds. Hunter Pasami, a yellow card. And he's going to have a sit down for 10 minutes. And that was for... It wasn't for that, was it? Oh, well, head-on-head contact, I suppose they're saying. Boy, that's harsh. Moana Pasifika, tap and go. And they drive towards the line. They're over the line. Have they got the ball down? Oh, it's just short. Millimetres short. Now they're over. The pick and go from the base of the ruck. Who is it? It's Ardie Savea! We are 2 legs up in the multi with 19 minutes gone. Ardie Savea scores the try. Wow, 2 legs up in the multi, 20 minutes gone in the game. Come on, Fraser McWright. Come on, multi. Ardie was honestly the one I was worried about. Now I'm worried about Fraser McWright. And Moana Pacific are on the board. Oh, that's a shocking attempt at conversion. 21 points to 5 it remains. But Hunter Pasami, 10 minutes in the pen. Yellow card under review. A beer for Ardie Savea. A tick off the multi. Very nice. Yeah, so Dan Jam, I used to go to all the games at Ballymore, a much smaller ground. It just felt so much better. So I totally get where you're coming from. I mean, it looks ridiculous on television here. A half empty, not even half empty, like a 3/4 empty Suncorp Stadium. Whereas if they played this game at Ballymore, it would have been a packed house. Down the short side, the Reds go, and Daugunu taken into touch. I mean, it's probably got to do with the deals that they work out between the broadcasters and the stadium. And Moana Pasifika put the kick through. The Reds are under a little bit of pressure here, retreating backwards. But Jock Campbell gets them heading back in the right direction. Here's Liner. Gets the hands free. Pops it up to McWright. Fraser McWright fights his way up towards halfway. Ardie Savea's in over the top of it, but the Reds still have it. Liner again, inside ball. Creates half a gap for Harry Wilson. Pops it back for Liner. Swivels out of one. And the Reds go to ground inside the 40. Back on the attack. Wilson, dummies. Met hard in a 2-man tackle. This Liner, Tom Liner's looking pretty good. 5 phases here for the Reds. Out the back to Campbell. Gets the arms free, but nobody to pass it to. And the Moana Pasifika knock on. It'll be scrum down for the Reds. But yes, Tom Liner looking pretty impressive, I must say. The early stages of this one. The son of Michael, of course, yes. The scrum sets. McDermott's got it to the back. Daugunu in to take the first hit up. I'll be careful as they lift him. Fraser McWright rips it away from his own teammate. Matty Colkin, I don't get how they can review a card decision. Well, it's, just to keep the game moving along, really. Keep the game moving along, and then if the on-field decision is deemed insufficient, it'll get upgraded to a red. It's pretty much just as far as I'm aware, that's the only reason it's been implemented, just to keep the pace of the game up. Just send them all. Oh, penalty, turnover for Pacifica. Hands in over the top of that ruck. And then you also get the situation too, right, where sometimes something can happen in the heat of the moment. If something happens in the heat of the moment and you go, oh, geez, that looked bad, referees can overreact, go straight to the pocket. Well, now there's a situation that's just send the player off for the 10 minutes, put it under review. The TMO can go over every angle, every single facet of the play, and they can decide to upgrade it if they want. Boy, it's raining so heavy. Is it raining? Hang on. I want to see if it's raining here at my place. No, we've got no rain here. So I reckon what happened is during that Chiefs Crusaders game, when I said I could hear the rain outside, all that rain has now moved from my place over Suncorp Stadium. It is belting down there. Moana Pasifika have the ball. Five faces again. They've been largely on the attack here for these past few minutes. Losing the ball now, and it's with Fraser McWright for the Reds. A turnover inside the 22. And the execution just letting Moana Pasifika down there. Clearing kick up over halfway. Havili fires it across for Alamalo. He's got nowhere to go. Cuts back in field. Half a gap opens up, but it shuts down just as quickly. Ryan Smith, with a little bit of help, makes the tackle. Now the little dink in over the top, bouncing inside the Reds 22 and finds touch a metre out from the goal line. A 5 metre line out here, defensive line out for the Queensland Reds. 21 points to 5, they're up. They got off to a flyer of a start. Hey, JWR, ahoy, mate. And the Reds throw it over the top. It's not straight. And a free kick here for Moana Pasifika. Oh, that was really, really askew from Asiata. Matty Colkin says, not many people wearing raincoats. Not many people. Period. I do wonder how much the rain or the potential of rain kept people away from the ground tonight, or if there was just a lack of interest perhaps in this fixture. Half a metre out here. Moana Pasifika. The pick and go is the option again. Half a metre out, trying to burrow their way under. Ardie Savea organising the troops. Pops the pass out. It's intercepted by the Reds. And then Fraser McWright spills it. Knock on. Penalty. Knock on advantage. Pacifica have numbers to the right. Stepping back in field. Patafilo. 2 meters out. And the crash ball. They're over the line. Held up here. And we'll come back for the scrum. Oh, there's offsides here against the Reds. It's going to be a penalty. Sean Hewitt says, I have to say the Chiefs are looking the real deal. Oh, the Chiefs were immense tonight, weren't they? Hunter Paisami is just coming back onto the field, and I think the Reds are about to lose another one here. Oh, no. Lucky to get away with that. Offside, reaching in over the ruck. Penalty, Moana Pasifika. Hunter Paisami's back on the field. The Reds got off to a flying start here, but it's been all Moana Pasifika since then. 21 points to 5. They're coming back into the game. And Ardie Savea. Oh! What are they looking at here? Heel fries, ahoy mate. They might be looking if this was a deliberate knockdown. He could be in trouble here. Hunter Paisami has just come back onto the field, and the Reds might be about to lose another player. This could be another card. Somebody has reached over and slapped the ball down, potentially. That's what we're looking at here. Number 5. Busted. Ryan Smith, you've been caught out, mate. You've been caught on camera reaching out beyond the ruck. And that's a yellow card. Hunter Paisami has just come back onto the field. And now the Reds lose another one to the bin. And immediately they call scrum. Moana Pasifika. How are the Eels doing, heel fries? Let's have a look. No score. 7 minutes in. Five-meter scrum here, Moana Pasifika. 3 minutes and 16 seconds inside the Reds' territory, and we actually see the territory there. Moana Pasifika spending large amounts of time down this end of the field. Solid scrum base. Big shove here for Moana Pasifika. They've got the extra man, of course. Dummying down the short side. They go open side, and it's been read well. Lalamulo loses some ground, but a penalty advantage. Hunter Paisami not rolling away. He might find himself in the bin again here, Paisami. Gardner Bishop, the huge cutout pass. Pop back in field. And Lalamilo has been rocked with that tackle. Were there any arms in that? I want to know if there were any arms in that tackle. And the Reds' discipline is becoming a little bit of an issue here. We need to have a look at this. Were there any arms involved in this hit? The cutout pass right onto the chest. Ali Melo pops you back in field. And, Paisami. Jeez, I don't know if there's too much attempt to wrap the arms here. Let's have a... Oh, it's head on head. Hunter Paisami's gone again here. Head on head clash. Paisami's in trouble. He's already spent 10 in the bin. Play on, says referee. He's not that interested in it. Jeez, I thought we know how sticklers for the laws, right? To the letter of the law. I thought Hunter Pasami was in a world of trouble there. Off the field goes the man that he hit, Lalamilo. $21 points to 5. Moana Pasifika trailing, but they're on the attack. Five meters out from the line, the scrum binds and sets. Tail lower, feeds. It's a big shove again from Pasifika. They release the ball. Bishop to Alamilo. Keeping it in tight. Tail lower. Now Slade on the crash ball. 5 meters out here. Moana Pasifika. They keep sending it right over to that far edge. And again. Still 5 meters out. Now they come back left. Slade is met hard in a two-man tackle. 8 minutes until the halftime break. This is raced by. Now they release it through the hands. Well defended. Tate McDermott's in there making a nuisance of himself. Ardie Savea. 10 meters out. Short side they go. Well done there to keep the ball in play. Bishop is now close to touch and over. Well defended there from the Reds. A man down. And I've got to say, Jackson Garden Bishop, he's a bulky fly half. Asiata goes to the middle. The Reds spill it out the back. Can they lose it forward? And Moana Pasifika will keep the pressure on. Well, this is incredible, really. The Reds raced out to the 21-0 lead. But it's been all Moana Pasifika since then, keeping the pressure on. Lots of play down this end of the field. Something has got to give eventually, you would think. Five meters out on the attack. They bind and set. Very steady scrum here from Pasifika again. But the Reds come back at them with a second shove. The ball's released. And Toala, who's on the field, replacing Lalo Milo, takes his first run. The ball is held up. It's been ripped away by the Reds. Canham has done well there. McDermott now fires it back to Liner in the end goal. And the clearing kick up over halfway. It's a good kick. Bishop goes quickly though. Moana Pasifika looking to keep the pace up, keep the pressure on. Back to Bishop on the wraparound. Gets the fend on. Links up again and spilled forward by Havili. And the Reds, finally, they can get themselves out of the danger zone. McDermott back to Liner. Liner says, let's get out of here, boys. Kicks in behind the line. And Moana Pasifika have it inside their own 22. Running back just outside to put the high ball up. And taking his own kick. Keeping the ball alive. The pressure is still on here. This high-paced game that they're playing in the wet. Lost by the Reds. Advantage here, Pasifika. Oh, numbers, but Bishop loses it backwards. Now chips in over the top. One-on-one tackle needs to be made by Liner, but he does enough to slow him down. Here on this near side, just outside the 22, Samuel Slade. Plays it back. Bishop to centre Rivy. No support there for Alan Craig. The ball spills out the back of the ruck. It's play on, and it's still there for Moana Pasifika. 6 phases inside the 22. Savea. Toala now. Novmam. Ahoy there. Yes, we caught the Chiefs Crusaders game. What an absolute spanking. Pacifica's now. Oh, the crash ball from Toala. He spills it with the line open. 5 meters out. The crash ball hit the chest. And now he gets in the way as he's retreating back into the defensive line. And it's a penalty to the Queensland Reds, compounding the error. Oh, the try has gone begging here for Moana Pasifika. Unbelievable. The penalty kick takes it just outside the 22. He's the number 7 UFC, so wouldn't say prolific try scorer. J. Joe, ahoy mate. Channel member, J. Joe. Asiata with the throw. Goes to the front. Taken by Canham. Firing it back now for Liner to clear. Up over halfway. Sits up for Garden Bishop. And he returns the ball over into the far corner. One bouncing into touch just outside the 22. Happy to just turn the Reds back around. Just over a minute to go till halftime. And the Reds are in no hurry to get back for this line out, that's for sure. Happy to just slow things down. They'll be pretty content with their lead so far. Asiata goes to the middle. Reds secure the ball. Oh, now they spill it at the back. It's lost backwards, says the referee. Let's not forget, it is pelting down with rain. Very slippery conditions. And we see Liner lose the ball behind him. Has to go back and retreat. Fires the pass across to Daugunu, who doesn't normally kick, but he gets a good enough purchase on that just to get the Reds out of danger. Well, maybe not. It's been carried back. He's put it out on the full. It was carried back. And Moana Pasifika, a red-hot chance here right on the stroke of half-time. A line-out throw over on that far touchline. 15 seconds to go. We were just talking about the slippery conditions. Uncontested in the middle of the line-out. Slade plants it back. Here's Savea. The ball stolen by the Reds illegally. And here is a gift 3 points. And it's going to be another card here. Oh, the Reds are going to lose another one. Fraser McWright with a yellow. Well, that's my last try scorer for the multi. With a professional foul right on the stroke of half-time. Jeez. You might take the 3 here. It's a gift, 21-8. And you've got the opening 10 minutes of the second half. The Reds are man down. The big call incoming. I would take it. They are taking it. Moana Pasifika. Some reward for all this time that they've spent down in the Reds danger zone. Havili. From just to the right of the post, 10 metres out, puts it over. And Moana Pasifika with 3 more points. 21 points to 8. At halftime, the Reds, they got off to that flying start, but they've done very little since then. Obviously, the conditions are playing their part, but you can't blame the conditions for some of what's going on here for the Reds. They haven't kept their heads in the game. And Moana Pasifika, they're in a good position here to try and fight back. Fraser McWright, he will be off for the first 10 minutes of the second half or thereabouts. Probably about 8 or 9. Taking time off for that shot at penalty goal, but still, opportunity for Pasifika. They're dominating large parts of this game. But the slow start, or the quick start by the Reds, and they find themselves behind. $21 points to 8 at the halftime break. We'll have a quick break here as well on the Waste to World of Sports. We'll run an ad on YouTube, and we'll be back very shortly everywhere else. Thanks for being with us so far. Second half coming up. Halftime here. Waste of World of Sports. Yeah, UFC, I could probably do an entire episode in of itself just talking about player salaries and whatnot. But, I mean, things to take into consideration. The Super Rugby is not even close to the pinnacle of rugby union. Super Rugby is just another step in the pathway to international rugby, playing for the All Blacks, playing for the Wallabies, for example. There is monster money in Super Rugby level rugby in Europe. Completely different beast over there. That's why All Black players take sabbaticals and go and play in Japan, play in Europe. But comparing Super Rugby to NRL, for example, in terms of salaries, there's not really any comparison. I mean, we're talking about a stepping stone competition in Super Rugby versus NRL, which is the pinnacle of rugby league, certainly in this country. It's not really comparable in that sense. Comparing NRL money to international rugby money is probably still not fair, but I mean, that's where you would see a big... That's what rugby players are aspiring for. The All Black money, the Wallaby money, the Springbok money. NRL doesn't have that. NRL is the pinnacle. Because there's no international scene. NRL and State of Origin, I mean, that's the pinnacle of rugby league in this country. Whoops. Just cheers to myself. So it's not really surprising that an NRL player would make more than your average Super Rugby player. But where the big deficit comes into play is if you're good enough to make an international squad, forget about it. NRL can't compete with those sorts of salaries. $21-8 here at halftime. Queensland Reds over Moana Pasifika, but it is Moana Pasifika who are dominating large portions of this game. They will be kicking themselves over the slow start that they got off to, or the Reds just got off to a flyer. It's one of those situations. It's difficult to know exactly which one took place. Did Moana Pasifika just not come out of the gates firing, which allowed the Reds to do what they did, or did the Reds just turn it on? If they did, they've gone to sleep, but that's been on the back of 3 yellow cards. Yes, 3 yellow cards. Hunter Pasami, Fraser McWright right on the stroke of halftime, and Ryan Smith have all been carded. 3 yellow cards. And that hasn't really allowed the Reds to get any sort of momentum going. I mean, 3 yellow cards is basically 30 minutes. So 3/4 of the half. 3/4 of this half, they have spent a man down. Unbelievable. All right. Play some more ads. Half time. Fraser McWright, what has he done to me? We only need Fraser to tick off the multi. And he's got himself sent off to the bin for 10 minutes. So he will not be on the field to start the second half. Disappointing. %66 possession in favor of Moana Pasifika. That is incredible. All right, so here's the other screen. Let's try and get the... so what I'm going to do in future is I'm going to have these stat boards up on the screen. So if I go over, let's see what we can set up on the fly here. What can we get going? So if I rename that, because that's our territory stat. Rugby territory. I can copy this and put a reference. We'll see. It would be rugby, obviously. Rugby. I'll just call it summary for now. Let's just call it summary for now. Oh, yep. And what we'll do is we'll set up an automated scrolling thing. That way I don't have to do anything. It'll just automatically cycle between all these screens. So sporadically. So we can have the match summary. We can have the territory. I wonder how this one's going to go fitting in. Oh, yeah. There we go. That's not too bad. So while that one was on, this one would be off, obviously. I wonder what else they've got there. Anyway, I'm enjoying myself a bit too much. Ollie is the best. Ahoy. Your girlfriend Jasmine says ahoy. Ahoy, Jasmine. Did you know that Jasmine is the name of a princess, Ollie? So there we go. That's another screen that I'll have. And yeah, it'll eventually cycle through. I'll set it up so that it's on a timer of some sorts. And every few minutes it'll switch over to a different screen so that there's something always happening. I just felt like that rolling text commentary wasn't really adding too much. And a rice as well, Dan Jam. Yes, jasmine rice is very good. I have jasmine rice with just about everything. Well, everything that I have rice with. Matty Colkin says Panthers beat Manly before. Oh yes, the New South Wales Cup trial game that was on earlier. Honestly, that's why I didn't really cover the NRL trials. I did the first one, did the Sharks and the Warriors, and then it sort of reminded me as to why I don't get excited for trial games. It's interesting to see the next generation come through, but yeah, I was even listening to Six Tackles with Gus earlier, and he said the same thing. He's like, yep, the trial games mean absolutely nothing. Not a thing. Good Lord, UFC. Get out. Get right out. Show yourself the door, sir, for such insolence. Such a... Bloody hell. Nothing worse than some son of a bitch over-aging you. Deeply, deeply offensive, UFC. Deeply offensive. Second half is underway. Oh, the Reds have let the ball bounce and have spilt it forward. Moana Pasifika will go straight on the attack. And attacking down the short side. Keeping the ball alive. The second half has started much like the first half ended. Moana Pasifika on the attack. And Basham spills it. Advantage had been played. Knock on. And a scrum down for the Reds. Well, the wet conditions here causing a lot of handling issues. Oh, there's more cricket on? So, yeah, South Africa are playing, aren't they? They're playing Afghanistan. Oh, I was kind of interested in that game. One for 36. I'm very curious to see how Afghanistan do. They've got a pretty solid-looking team on paper. Afghanistan, I think they'll cause an upset or two. Scrum down here for the Reds. Very, very secure. Liner with the wraparound pass. Puts Campbell into space. Daugunu bumps off the fullback. Jonah Lomu style straight over the top of him. Liner pops the pass up. The Reds race into the 22 of Moana Pasifika here. Slow ball. It's finally there for McDermott. Looks short side. Goes back open. Canham. A penalty advantage here for the Reds. McDermott with quick ruck ball. Scoots across the face of the post. Pops it back. DeLutis. Never heard of him. Ball spills out and Moana Pasifika have it. But we come back for the penalty. Right out in front here for the Reds. Moana Pasifika offside. I would consider taking the 3 here, I've got to say. I'd have to have a think about taking the 3 in all seriousness. They've been under the pump. They're going for the corner. Well, they've been under the pump. Put some points on the board. They've still got 6 minutes 40, a man in the bin. And maybe for that reason, they just want to stay down this end. Spend a little time down here. If you put the penalty kick over, you're right back down your own end, aren't you? So I just might have thought push themselves beyond that 2 converted tries. They throw to the middle of the line out to the Reds and secure possession. The rolling maul is set. 5 meters out. And Fessler breaks away from the rolling maul and scores. Matty Fessler. They've got themselves in position and they've taken full advantage here, the Reds. 26 points to 8. They extend their lead. Nice little piece of work there. And Moana Pasifika just didn't number up on defense. The big fella left literally clutching at air. 4 minutes into the second half. And the Reds up 26 points to 8. Liner successful again. Oh, he's got a golden boot, huh? Golden boot. 28 points to 8. Pacifica with the restart. Taken by Canham. And lost forward by the Reds. So, an opportunity for Moana Pasifika. And I suppose this is the exact scenario we're talking about where, had they taken the 3, if this still happened, they've just invited Moana Pasifika straight back down. Four minutes left in the bin for Fraser McWright, so we won't be getting too excited about that same game multi until Fraser's back on the field. Told to use it now. Moana Pasifika. Shifted out wide. Filipo goes to ground now. Bishop, the grubber kick in behind the line. Needs it to sit up. Thrown back in field. A crazy ambulance pass back in field. Carried back by the Reds. It'll be a 5-meter scrum. Silly play there. Jock Campbell putting Tate McDermott under immense pressure. Unbelievable. We were taught from a pretty young age that you don't pass the ball to somebody who's in a worse position than you are. They've just asked for trouble here. The Reds, 5-meter scrum. Scrum's gone down. Ball's available. Play on. Pasifika with the crash ball. Toala. Just a meter short. Penalty to the Reds. Holding on. Who was in over the top of that? Pats on the back all around. Harry Wilson has secured the penalty. That was a huge, huge turnover. Big moment there. Tom Liner with the touch finder off the penalty. And the Reds can get this out of the danger zone, get it out of their own half. And for Moana Pasifika, once again, a situation, just an opportunity lost. So much possession and so much territory. They will be ruining the missed opportunities here tonight as the Reds throw to the back of the line out. The ball is secured. Harry Wilson brings it up to the 40. McDermott back to Liner. Puts it high. Skews off the side of the boot. Not a lot of distance. Taken by Moana Pasifika. Still inside the Reds' territory. Lower. 40 metres out. Bishop. Onto the big man, James Lay. The big man with the beautiful moustache. Down the short side they go. Bishop fires a cutout pass. But the Reds' defence up to it at the moment. Slade to Bishop. Big hit. The ball spills loose out the back. The Reds get boot to it. But Moana Pasifika retreat. They've got it just outside their 22, but they've lost about 30 metres here. As the Reds look to counter ruck. Moana Pasifika inside their own 22. Spread it wide. Toala, inside ball for Havili. Havili needs support. Fires the cutout pass. right onto the chest of Solomon Alamalo, and they're going to score here. Well, it doesn't matter that they've lost about 40 metres off that spilt ball. They're going to run the length of the field, and they've done it with 3 seconds to spare. The Reds are about to be back to a full complement. A breakaway try for Moana Pasifika. What little home crowd there is weren't very happy about the call on this pass. It's clearly backwards out of the hands, I think. And that is a beautiful try, Moana Pasifika. Very well played. Well, I don't think it's been awarded yet. That's back out of the hands. That's a beautiful ball. $28 points to 13. Conversion attempt. Havili puts it on target. 28-15. Moana Pasifika. A much-needed try. Some reward for all the territory and possession that they've had. Backwards out of the hands. It was a great try. Play on. Inside the 22, Moana Pasifika back to Havili to clear. Finding the touch. Oh, it was Bishop. Finding the touch. Not a lot of distance on it. 51 minutes gone here. No, it's not a 4X, Sean Hewitt. Yeah, I don't do 4Xs. Moana Pasifika steal the line-out throw. Ripped away by the Reds, but Pacifica come down with the loose ball. Again, they're just controlling possession and territory here. Reds back to a full complement. Come on, Fraser McWright. As Moana Pasifika lose it on halfway. Here's a chance to counterattack. There is McWright. Pops the pass for Tim Ryan, who goes into a huge hole. Where's his support runners? He runs away from them. Pops the pass back in field, and the Reds spill it inside the 22. A huge let-off there for Moana Pasifika. Playing on at this stage. Havili takes it back to the 22. But considering the conditions, and now a breakaway from Moana Pasifika, one to beat, in and out, in and away, and into space. Surely this will be a try for Moana Pasifika. Length of the field again, and it's Kyren Taumoefolau diving under the posts. They've gone the length of the field, Moana Pasifika. The Reds look certain to score, spill the ball, and the counter-attack is 100% good. What a try. And they are back into this in a big way here, Moana Pasifika. They are into this up to their necks. 28 points to 20. The kick from right in front. Havili will surely convert. $28 points to 22. And Moana Pasifika, the irony of the situation is they're now getting reward for their weight of territory and possession, but they're getting it from length of the field, breakaway tries. They're not scoring their tries while they're down there. Reds get us back underway. Moana Pasifika have the ball inside their own 22. Box kick is set. No, it's fired back for Bishop to clear. A traditional clearance. And again, not a lot of distance, just outside the 22. He'll be frustrated again there, Garden Bishop. UFC Forex is a locally made Australian beer, and it's terrible. Yeah, really cheap and nasty. Well, there goes any prospect of a sponsorship from them. See, I've got to be careful about what I say these days. As the Reds secure the line-out ball. Pasami in midfield, plants it back. McDermott, quick ruck ball. Wilson pops the pass up, and now Campbell loses it. Ardie Savea to Havili, back in field for Bishop. Looking for support runners. Knock-on advantage here. Moana Pasifika. Back to Havili to clear, and he's got a monstrous purchase on this. Taken on the full of the back, though, by Tate McDermott. And his return kick inside Pacifica 22. An eternity to set up the clearing kick and sends it up towards halfway. The Reds will have the line-out throw. Judah Hustler, you think that the Moana plus 26.5 is safe? I would say it's looking pretty good. Tui's is great. Tui's extra dry. Tui's new. Tui's is fantastic. On halfway here, the Reds leading by 6. Not rolling away here, Moana Pasifika. Penalty right out in front. Take the 3. Put yourself out beyond that converted try. It's 42 metres out right in front. But they'll probably put it into the corner. Seems to be the style of the time. God. I wouldn't be turning down 3 points in a tight game like this. Liner puts it into touch. And it's probably not close enough to the try line for just yet for Fraser McWright to come into play. 10 metres out. They'll set Tana. There's Tana Rumunga. They'll set the rolling maul. And it would be Matty Fessler who has it at the back. The Reds do throw to the back. They release it immediately. And Seru Uru fights his way towards the line. Plants it back for pick and go. And driving over the line is Angus Blythe. Or Blythe is probably how you actually pronounce it. Angus Blythe. Another try here for the Reds. Oh, we're running out of time. 20 minutes to go. And I still only need Fraser McWright for the multi. Are we going to have another one of those scenarios where that one leg, that one cheeky leg, lets you down? I think we will. Try for the Reds, though. They extend their lead again, 33 points to 22. Whoops, nearly made a complete mess out of that. Conversion successful from Liner. It's 35-22. And the Reds just open up that comfortable lead once again. I think the Blues will win, Sean. It'll just be a matter of by how much. But the Highlanders, I was so impressed with their defensive effort in round one. I just think playing the Waratahs and playing the Blues are a completely different beast, aren't they? Harry Wilson goes straight up the middle. Support from Liner. The Reds are on halfway. McDermott with quick ruck ball. Campbell down the short side. Anderson. McDermott. Double pump out to Daugunu. He's got Fraser McWright. Fraser McWright's got the line open. Passes the ball to Ryan Smith. Oh, I thought we were on. I thought we were on for all money there. Fraser McWright playing the team game. Just drew in the fullback. I thought for sure the big man was going to put his head down and go for the corner. But he plays the team game. Cuts back in field to draw in the fullback. And he puts his support runner over under the post. Fraser McWright cares not for my multi. He's a team man. He could have scored the try himself. I'm going to send him a nasty email. Mate, you could have scored that one on your own. Liner with the conversion attempt. Keeps his perfect record intact, and the Reds lead 42-22. And they've opened up a nice little comfy margin for themselves now. Unbelievable. Back underway, and the Reds have it. Liner clears from inside his own 22. It was carried back, so straight down the middle of the field. Moana Pasifika in possession. Kicking back to Liner. Brings it back infield. Daugunu tries to put the step on. It's been read well by Malolo, who rocks him backwards in the tackle. McDermott clears it. Back for Liner. Carried back again. Can't find touch. But it's a nice long kick. Garden Basher back up to halfway. Puts the high ball up. Tapped back by Moana Pasifika and then spill forward. Oh, and that's... he's gone. Matt Fessler's gone. Matt Fessler is gone here. Matt Fessler's having to sit down. The Reds are about to get their fourth yellow card. It's a knock on. But we need to have a look at what happened after the play. The referee had already blown the whistle. The referee had already blown the whistle. And then Matt Fessler wow. I am stunned. They're not looking at that any further? Absolutely stunned by that. I thought for sure Fessler was having to sit down. Scrum down here. Queensland Reds with the feed. 62 and a half gone. 42-22. McDermott to Pasami for the little kick in behind the line. It sits up nicely. Havili's got it at the back. up towards the halfway mark here. Moana Pasifika trailing by 20. 63 minutes gone. Told to use it. The box kick is charged down. McDermott's got it now for the Reds. Penalty to Moana Pasifika. Offside. Ultimately is the call, I think. The Red Knight 47. Ahoy, mate. No tries for Tate McDermott. No. No tries for Fraser McWright. He could have scored one. Decided to pass it to a teammate instead, though. On halfway here, Garden Bishop will look to put this into the corner. And he only finds... Well, he doesn't even find the 22. But Moana Pasifika marching back deep into Reds territory. The throw goes to the front of the line-out. Reds look to spoil, but Pacifica still have it. The rolling maul is set. Goes to ground now, and they're still in possession. Look at this haircut on Zane Nongor. It's a Felice Kafusi-style haircut. As Moana Pasifika look to take it inside the 22 here in midfield. Quick ruck ball. This will give them some go forward. Toala. Savage plants it back. Staying on the short side. Garden Bishop takes the line on. The Reds are in over the top of this. Daugunu. But Pacifica retain possession. Through the hands now out to the left. Short pass from Toala. It's well read by the Reds defensive line. Now the pick and go. Seems to be where they've found most success. Up off the line quickly, the Reds. Was it too quick? Play on at the moment and in over the top of this. Penalty advantage to Moana Pasifika. Looking to hit back. Garden Bishop with the crossfield kick. Contestable and taken by the Reds. Will come back for the penalty. And Moana Pasifika, they'll put this into the corner. An obvious choice. 42-22 with 14 minutes remaining. An obvious call. As much as we know, I love the three. Love the three. Take the three. It makes very little sense in this situation. Five meters out on the attack. Moana Pasifika uncontested to the middle of the line out, and the rolling maul is set. It's going backwards at the moment. Sideways. Penalty advantage, though, the Reds. In illegally. Toala to Garden Bishop. Cut out pass to Havili. Now there's some space in the corner. Diving and planting it down. Kyren. What's his name? It's his second try. Kyren Taumoefolau. God, that was horrible. Kyren Taumoefolau. Taumoefolau. He gets his second try. And Moana Pasifika, they're just hanging around. Refusing to go away completely. They're not going away completely. Sideline conversion from Havili. 3 from 4 tonight. It's on his favourite side. He's on target. He's right down the middle. Havili converts, and it's 42-29. 12 minutes remaining. Well, another try would make things very interesting from here. They have just refused to go away here, Moana Pasifika. It's still a long way back. But they've given themselves a red-hot chance here as the Reds back underway. Liner sends it inside the 22. Tate McDermott's off now. 12 minutes. We still need Fraser McWright for any time try. Havili puts a step on, gets away from one chaser and clears. A decent purchase. But still under pressure here. The Reds will have the line-out throw about 30 metres out. How many minutes in a union game, asked the Red Knight? 80. The same scrappy ball, but falls for Moana Pasifika. Garden Bishop now heads across field. Sending it through the hands, out the back line. Just short of halfway. That was a big turnover, that one. Malolo rumbles it up the middle. Now, the pick and go from Apoa. Not Apu from the Quickie Mart. Attacking the near edge now. Toala into contact. And I thought the box kick was incoming, but no, they've kept it in tight for another phase. Garden Bishop, the pass goes out the back to nobody, and they have to dive on the loose ball. They've lost ground. All that hard work. Still got the ball, though. Garden Bishop now puts it high. The chase through. Was he impeded? It's opened up now for Daugunu, who returns it. He's got support from Fraser McWright, and Fraser McWright scores. Fraser McWright scores the try to win the multi, potentially. And I say potentially because there's a potential obstruction that needs to be looked at. Was the Moana Pasifika chaser impeded? I don't think so. I think he has chosen to run into the Queensland Reds player. But of course I'm going to say that when Fraser McWright has scored the multi-winning try. Fraser McWright dives over. And a glorious moment. All three ticked off. What a start to the year. Tom Liner converts. And the Reds back to a 20-point margin. Oh, can't wipe this goofy smile off my face now. I love seeing beer steins across the board. Ryan Zealand, ahoy, mate. So good to see Aussie teams competitive again. I am excited for the Bledisloe Cup this year. I really am, because I do think that the Wallabies, they'll be a tougher prospect than they have been in recent times, right? I'm pretty sure I still had a brick phone the last time the Wallabies won the Bledisloe Cup. Oh, and spilt ball there from Garden Bishop. In wet conditions, that was still a simple mistake. And now the Reds pump the ball in behind the line. Daugunu is chasing through. Was it a 50-22 or was it touched? Line out throw for Moana Pasifika. UFC and Judah Hustler. I'm not allowed to say. Moana Pasifika set up the clearing kick. Not a lot of distance on it, and the Reds will have the line-out throw just outside the 22. Yeah, as I've learnt, certain platforms are kind of hardcore about stuff. We got pinged the other night for... all I did was mention the beer that I was drinking. And then I got an alert flash up on the screen saying your stream has been what's the word? Not banned. As Fessler pops the pass looking for Pasami. Stolen away by Moana Pasifika in the clearing kick up over halfway. It wasn't banned, but I forget the word. Limited. Yes, thank you, Matty Colkin. Stream was limited, so basically it was the platform saying you're allowed to be live here, but if you're going to talk about this sort of stuff, we're not going to share it and promote it. Restricted, that's the word. Restricted, limited, same, either one. And I've found that some platforms are also very, very strict on what they consider promotion of gambling. Trevor Leary says this game is good for bonus points and differentials. 100%. 5 minutes to go. Scrum down on halfway. Quick break. I'll be right back. Well, the Queensland Reds have scored again. I went for a quick piss break. I went for a quick pee. And I've come back and the Queensland Reds have scored from the scrum. And they've brought up the 50. Queensland Reds scrum feed on halfway. And it wasn't even a set piece, really. It was just a simple inside ball. Draw and pass from McWright back to Wilson. Wilson popped it up. And Harry McLaughlin Phillips scores the try. 50 is up for Queensland. Let me just say this, UFC. Let me just say this. The multi tonight will be paying for the next roughly 15 wages in the streams to come. If that gives you some sort of idea. Some sort of perspective. Blink and you miss it indeed. Oh, Ryan Zealand, honestly, the amount of times that happens to me, I pop out of the room for whatever reason, whether it's to refill my drink, toilet break, to see what the dog's barking at. The amount of times I come back and something big has happened, unbelievable. Moana Pasifika claim the restart. Rumble it up to the 22. Looking for some consolation points now. Big defense from the Reds, though, rocking them backwards. Bashop, double pump pass. Now Havili kicks in behind the line, needs this to set up. It does. Beautifully picked up as well. The Reds get in the way of the pass back. Penalty to Moana Pasifika. Tap and go. They go quickly. Ryan says Moana Pasifika, also known as the Hurricanes B team. I'll drink to that, mate. That's hilarious. I love it. Cheers for that one. That gave me a good laugh. I mean, it's kind of true, though, isn't it? Through the hands now. Havili steps back in field. 5 meters out. The Reds looking to hold their line intact for this final minute. The pick and go. Do you get your margin here, Judah Hustler? Do you get your margin here if they score? I'm not good at doing mathematics on the fly. Plus 26.5. A converted try here. Penalty advantage. They're half a meter out. They're over the line now and held up. We'll come back for the penalty. 5 meters out. Oh, you only need one more point? Take the 3. They tap and go. They drive over the line here, Moana Pasifika. So close, held up by the Reds. Another pick and go, millimeters short. That's on the line, surely. The try is given. The consolation try. And there we go. They're back within the 26.5. Try scored. Well done, Judah Hustler. See, I already got my same game multi in. It's time to cheer on everybody else's punts. Conversion attempt from Havili. Puts it over. Time is up on the clock. The end of this game. 56 points to 36. The Reds have won it by 20. It was an intriguing performance from the Queensland Reds. They sort of scored in bursts. They started quickly. And then they went through a huge lull. Moana Pasifika, really, I mean, you wouldn't know it by looking at that scoreline, but Moana Pasifika really dominated large parts of this game. Territorially and possession-wise, they were on top, but they were behind from the very start on the scoreboard. Never led the game at any point. They got close for a little while there in the middle. And then the Reds just put on another rapid burst towards the back end of the game and sealed the deal. And importantly, Fraser McWright seals my multi. We got that one up. Oh, yes. Oh, you love seeing that in your account. Nice. All right, Waste to World of Sports. A fantastic doubleheader here tonight. And we'll be back tomorrow for more Super Rugby action. So I won't do too much of a post-game on this one because there's not a whole lot to talk about other than my predictions there coming true, all 3 of them. Not very often that happens. So you take it when you can get it. Time for me to go and have a little bit of a wind down. And I'll try, what I'll do for the rest of the night is I'll get these screens set up properly and then we can test them out on the stream tomorrow. All my stats screens that will rotate, in theory, I've got it up here, how to do it. So I think we'll be right. So yes, we'll be back. Super Rugby kicking off with, I believe it's the Hurricanes versus the Fijian Drua in the opening game. 1:30 local time for me. So looking forward to that. Some more Super Rugby action coming up tomorrow. Waste World of Sports live on YouTube, live on TikTok, live on Facebook, live on Twitch. Thank you so much for your company here. As always, if you've enjoyed the stream, do feel free to give us a follow, a subscribe, whatever it's called, on whatever platform you're joining us from. Do feel free to hit it and do it. And we'll be back tomorrow. wastedsports.com.au, the official website that I really need to get off my ass and keep updated. But you will find over there links to our free tipping and fantasy leagues that we've got set up for Super Rugby and NRL for 2025. Completely free to join and always will be. Okay, quickly before I go, UFC. Nice. UFC also got up. So that was me, UFC, and Judah Hustler all getting up tonight. Fantastic. Catch you guys tomorrow. Yes. Cheers.
Wasted world of sports, where the game's just a backdrop for drunken retorts. Rugby league or union, it's all fair play, but it's the banter that steals the show. Hey, 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 hey. Ahoy, we're here to make some noise. It's all about the laughs, the fun, and the joys. Join us in our world where the banter is prime. Wasted world of sports, we're having a good time. Scrums and tries, they're all well and good, but we're here for the jokes and 10 pence less from the kickoff to the final whistles blow. We'll take the 2 and